Hi, this is Boris. Welcome to another episode of Sketchpen Draws. So today this is an introduction to how to draw forms from different angles. So if you want any details about my meetup group where I do these drawing workshops for free online, please go in the description of this video and you'll find the link to the meetup group. And if you join the meetup group, you'll get updates whenever I'm organizing new drawing workshops, and you can join them for free. And I just do one per month that is paid, but the three others are free, and I do them every Sunday. So now, without further ado, let's talk about how to draw forms from different angles. So before, we need to look at some principles. I mean, they might be very obvious at first, but first principle is things close to you appear bigger. All right. So here is an example of like two pens. They are the exact same pen, but of course they are not exactly the same pen because the thickness is different, but that's not the point. The size of the actual pen is the same, right? And when put next to each other, and when they are at the same distance from your eyes, they appear the same size. Of course, that makes sense. So now, when I bring one of them close to the eye, of course the one closer to our eye is bigger. And even though they are the same pen, the same size, but just their placement makes it look bigger. Okay, so that's the first principle. The second one is that this also applies if you extend it to, because we are going to talk about form. I just took this, the cardboard that you find inside the paper towel. So when you look at this cylinder, right, and the plane is like a circle, it's like almost appears as a perfect circle. The sides of the cylinder appear as a perfect circle. But if you move it away from you, then that space here, that diameter, just becomes smaller. So then it appears as an oval, right? So that which makes sense, because otherwise, like the actual object doesn't change, but the way our eye sees it changes. So. And you can test this. I mean, this is why I took some pictures so that I can illustrate what I'm talking about. So now we know that. Now we're going to talk about 2D planes. So now, if you're learning and if you're still struggling with perspective, I understand. I still find it difficult. But what we can do is start with 2D shapes. Okay, so typically, imagine and visualize, because visualization is very important for drawing. Visualize a sheet of paper. Okay, so a sheet of paper is typically like a rectangle, right? Okay, and if you know how to draw this, and we just talked about the fact that when it's further away from you, it's smaller, right? Like, so which makes sense if you follow the logic that things that are closer to you are bigger, then the things that will be further away from you will be smaller. So let's draw another paper. Again, the rectangle, right? Like this. So let's just call this one A and then this one B. Okay, so okay, again, if I just erase this, clearly A is in front of B, right? We all agree on that. What I just did is I just drew two 2D planes, rectangles, right? They are 2D planes. Now then, if I add the depth and connect the corners, then you got yourself a 3D shape. So this is how we transition from drawing 2D to 3D. Right, adding depth. Okay, so again, I want to go step by step. I just want to make sure that all the principles are understood and can be applied and proven in real life, right? So you can do with other shapes too. So for example, let's say you draw a circle, and just for the fun of it, I'm just going to place the circle in a random location on the page. Okay, like, of course, make it smaller, right? Now, same thing. If I connect these two circles, let's call them C and D. You have yourself a cylinder, right? Like, I just need to erase this part that will be hidden and it will be on the other side. Okay, so this is how we go from 2D to 3D. We establish the two 2D planes, and then we add depth by connecting the corners or by connecting the two planes. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, but let's continue. You can also, of course, play this video over and over again if any of the points are not clear to you. So, next point is, because the point of this video is to show you, or at least introduce to you, a simple way to draw forms in different angles. Okay, so if we establish the principle of perspective, and then I showed you how to draw to go from 2D shapes to 3D forms. Okay, so now we're going to place two lines. Okay, so I'll do another video on perspective, but just trust me on this. Just place two lines, parallel lines. Okay, let's just call this one 1 and then this one 2. Okay, so just like we established that the plane, one plane was closer to us and another plane was further away from us, let's just say that the same here. The line 1 is close to us and then the line 2 is further away from us. Let's take different examples. So let's take a rectangle. Okay, so rectangle here, then I'm going to draw another rectangle, so here. So what did I do? I took the two planes, rectangles, and then I just stuck them to the lines, right? Like, so it's almost like they were like sort of slots, like, you know, floppy, like we used to put floppy disks, if people remember that. So basically just lines where you could just fit them in, right? Like, imagine you are loading your printer, like you're putting the paper on top, and you're putting another paper on another printer that is really far away in the background, right? As a matter of fact, this is the foreground, the 1 is the foreground, and number 2 is the background. So now we do what we did in the previous exercise, which is to connect the lines. Okay, so of course in this case, from the point of view that we are looking at this from, we will not see that side, so that's why I erased that. And let's just continue with the rectangle. Again, I try to make it the same rectangle, but so the other rectangle here would be in the back here, so we wouldn't see it. So from this angle we would just see the front plane, so we would just see a rectangle. Okay, so let's do another one, and then let's place the rectangle here. So I do the same thing, right? So we will not see this from our side. So, and then just for the sake of it, let's just put let's just say that in this case the rectangle is visible a little bit. So then you already managed to draw 3 angles just by playing with the positions of the 2D planes on 2 lines. Okay, 2 parallel lines, right? So of course you can do this with rectangles, you can do this with squares, triangles, and so on, and of course circles. But the point is, because, you know, most of the things that we see around us, I mean, of course, except for the natural elements, the combination of like a sphere or a circle, cube, and rectangle and triangle will give you most of what you need to draw. Okay, so so yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. Just a simple way of like imagining like from going from 2D to 3D. So imagining 3D not as this complex thing that really frustrates you, but as just two 2D planes on opposite sides connected by depth. Okay, it's just if you can visualize that, and if you do this exercise, I hope it will help you. I will do more on this topic because I also want to show you how something could be drawn when it's moving on an arc, and for this I will need a little bit more time because I would like you to understand this first. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, please leave in the comment section below, and of course practice, and you can watch this video over and over again. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And again, if you like this kind of content, I do drawing workshops every Sunday online for free, so please go in the description of this video and you'll find the link to my meetup group where you can become a member and join my workshops for free. So thank you for watching. This is Boris for Sketchman Draws, signing off.